In 2007, Steve Jobs, along with Apple, introduced the first smartphone with a touch screen. They called the new cell phone the iPhone, and it revolutionized the cell phone industry. Now let's bounce to the present. It is now 2016, and the name iPhone is a household name. 64% of all adults in the United States own a smartphone. Smartphones are great, and the technology inside them is mind-blowing. You can now do almost anything from anywhere with a smartphone. You can send a business email from the park or instantly send a message to your grandmother who lives in Florida. You can stream new music by your favorite band or play games with your friends. You can even look up anything on Google and find the answer to almost any question. And all of this can be done with using a smartphone. They make life so much easier. But that is exactly the problem. They make life so much easier. We enjoy being able to look something up if we don't know the answer off the top of our heads. But what happens when you no longer have the smartphone? Are you able to do your daily tasks? It might sound ridiculous if I told you some people can't function without their smartphone, but a study of undergraduate students at the University of Alabama revealed that 1 in 5 students were totally dependent on their cell phones, and over half admitted to being overly dependent. And it's not just college kids that are addicted to their phones. 46% of all smartphone-owning adults said their smartphone was something they could not live without. If you look around when you're walking to work or walking to class, you will notice that everywhere you look, you will see someone that is engrossed in whatever is on their iPhone screen. People just can't seem to get off their phones. We are addicted to our cell phones. So what? Well, this leads to all kinds of problems, including memory loss and social dysfunction. Remembering things is not always easy, and I for one forget everything. But thankfully our cell phones can remember stuff for us. I can just set the day and time for any event and my phone will remind me. It's great. However, if I just rely on my phone to remember everything for me, and one day I don't have my phone, I'm not going to be able to access any of that information. And on top of that, using our phones is teaching us not to remember for ourselves because we can just look it up. In a recent study, participants who believed they would be able to look up information later were less likely to remember the information later. Another problem with smartphones is that they socially network you with thousands of other people and give you a false sense of friendship. You might have a lot of friends on Facebook, but that doesn't matter if you're not able to socially communicate with them in person. Smartphones coupled with the vast forms of social media are affecting our social skills. Have you ever met anyone that would rather text than talk in person? The last and most dangerous effect of cell phone addiction is the inability to disconnect from your phone. As cell phones are becoming more ubiquitous, the line is becoming blurred when it comes to appropriate cell phone use. One place that is definitely not okay to use your phone is behind the wheel of a car. Attempting to use your phone while driving is an example of an inappropriate time to use your cell phone. However, millions of Americans continue to do it. Texting on a mobile device such as a cell phone while operating a motor vehicle is illegal in nearly every state and also very dangerous. According to the National Safety Council, cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes annually. Many Americans support strict laws that ban texting and driving for the sake of safety, but they themselves continue to text and drive. Drivers believe that they are capable of using their cell phone while driving safely, but believe that other drivers are not as capable as they are and should not be allowed to text and drive. I believe that no one should be allowed to text and drive,